Sensei, crack for the ears, baby, it's your boy. DJ Dmoney Global checking in. I just hopped out the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard. Yeah.
Throw it on flow, make it tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Throw it on flow, make it tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
All right, so we got DJ Dmoney Global jumping off the porch with us today, man.
Yes, sir. Finally, pleasure to be here, man. I always watch the Off the Porch interviews, man. It's good with y'all.
Nah, that's love right there, man. I'm feeling great. How you feeling today, man?
Feeling good, man. First time in Atlanta, man. Won't be the last. So, hey, I'm loving it so far.
Yeah. How you like the vibes, man? Have you been able to go anywhere, soak up any of the energy so far?
Man, not yet. I really just got off the flight and then came here, so I have a little time after we finish here to kind of, mess around before I head back. So, but so far, man, I'm digging the energy, like the landscape of it and all that.
I dig that, man. And so you're originally from Fort Worth, right?
Yep.
All right, man. So
town.
Everything I know about Fort Worth is pretty, it's rough, man. So
oh, you ain't lying. Myrtle Worth, Texas, man.
Yeah.
They ain't got that name for no reason, man. It's like, it is rough, but it has its sections like downtown, there's a spot like 7th Street to where you got your like bars and stuff where it's like a little upscale, things like that. But I mean, I guess thinking about it now, that does get kind of rough at night and stuff too.
Combining alcohol and people, man, that's always.
Yeah, but as far as like the landscaping of that, like when you go to West 7th Street, you kind of forget you are in Fort Worth. Like it kind of gives you that vibe of like Deep Ellum in Dallas or something like that.
Yeah. Do you feel like the city's changed much, or is it pretty much the same stuff going on from when you were younger till today?
It's changed a little bit. It's kind of like both. Same stuff is going on, but it has like, I feel like it's evolved, especially like with the music scene. Like,
oh yeah.
When I was younger, man, it was probably maybe like 1 or 2 artists, and then like now it's a lot of them. A lot of them are doing their thing out there. So
yeah, I feel like back then it was like, if you were from Fort Worth, people were going to try and lump you into Dallas anyway.
Man, they still try to say that. It's like, you from Fort Worth? Oh yeah, Dallas. Oh, that's just down the street. Like, no, it's literally 2 completely different cities, like Fort Worth and Dallas. But, I guess people do that because DFW.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's 2 completely different cities. Like, y'all, anybody watching this, remember that. Fort Worth, Dallas, 2 completely different cities.
Yeah. How would you describe the sound that's coming out of Fort Worth right now?
Hard. Most of it is like gangster, but there are like some conscious artists that are in Fort Worth. They're kind of like hidden gems. So Fort Worth, they got a little bit of everything. It's just the hard trap street stuff is what's more on top because it's like what's most popular right now.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's just a reflection of what's going on in the city, or?
Yeah, for sure, because it really be going on out there. Like, you ask anybody in Fort Worth, they gonna tell you, so for sure.
Yeah. Why do you feel like the talent out in Fort Worth has been overlooked? I know now you guys are finally getting some shine these past few years.
Right. I was thinking about that earlier today. I think the talent and stuff is there. I think it just needs a little more structure, you know what I mean, just from analyzing it, because it's like people are making good songs, but adding that structure to it and everything, I think it'll kind of put it on a different level to where people, I don't want to say take it more serious, but it'll help, put it on a different
pedestal.
Yeah, there you go.
I got you, man. All right, so let's take it back before the music. So what were you into as a kid growing up out there in Fort Worth?
Hooping.
Yeah.
Hooping, video games and hooping, man. I stayed on the street, man. Matter of fact, it was a neighborhood called South Meadows, street called Noel Ranch. And it was the suburbs, but it had like a hood feel to it because on the whole street, like 3 or 4 houses had basketball goals. And you had 2 designated houses where everybody would go and hoop. And we would just hoop from the sun up to sundown, like every day, like 5-6 days a week. So I thought I was gonna be, a hoop star growing up, but 9th grade that ended.
For real?
Yeah, man, I got cut.
You said it worked out in your favor anyway, though,
right?
It
did, because that was when I started DJing. So it's like I got cut and I started DJing a couple parties, and then it just, DJing took off from there.
Okay. So how did you get into DJing? What made you say, all right, this is what I want to do, man?
So So like around the time I had got cut, my stepmom at the time, she took me to her job's picnic, right? And it was just a good vibe there, man. It was cool. DJ was spinning, people was vibing. And I don't know what came over me. Like, it's really like one of those spiritual moments. Something came over me and I was like, man, I wonder if he'll let me spin 2 or 3 songs. I've never DJed ever in my life, but something just told me to ask him. I went and asked him, and he was like, yeah, go ahead. Man, I played 2 songs and seen the reaction to those people in that moment. I said, man, this is what I want to do. So on that ride home, I told my dad and my stepmom, I was like, man, this summer for my birthday, I just want a mixer so I can start DJing. And they got me that mixer, man. The rest was history.
Oh, that's dope.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember what 2 songs you played?
Man, one of them was Cassidy, Get No Better.
Okay.
I don't remember the other one though, but I remember that Get No Better for sure. I played.
Yeah.
It was like summer '04, so Cassidy was like on fire around that time too.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Was there any DJs at the time that you were looking up to? Like, man, he ill. I know I could do this shit too, man.
Before I started DJing?
Yeah, right when you first started.
When I first started, I probably had to say like, in the very, very beginning, man, to be honest, Texas legend Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
Mr. Rogers, bro. I reached out to Mr. Rogers on MySpace one year and asked for some advice. He gave me like a long paragraph. He probably wouldn't even remember that shit, but you know, I remember though that. And then I seen a couple dudes around me too. Like as I was in the beginning, as I was getting on, there was a guy named Teflon. His name 80 Grand now, but he was DJing like all the teen spots around town, and he really put me in position like to take over his spot because he transitioned from DJing to being a full-time artist because they actually had a song called The Boot that was hot.
Okay.
So it's like it got to the point to where he couldn't be in those spots like that. So he was pretty much like training me at the time, like, yeah, you're gonna have to take over this, but like seeing him do his thing around the city, seeing how people gravitated towards him, seeing that he was DJing and then making his own music and then playing it, and then I was like, man, that is like a dope way to do that, which kind of influenced like how I do stuff now.
Yeah.
So
how'd you get your start? Were you doing like house parties? Were you DJing at school, or were you doing it in clubs?
man,
or were you just doing mixtapes?
I started doing a couple house parties. My first house party was a disaster, bro. Like, I let somebody come, and somebody I went to school with, was like, yeah, let me DJ. I let him DJ. That was trash. The table I had my mixer on fell.
Oh,
I had like, man, it was just a tragedy. But, you know, each house party got better, but I started there. And then as I got my practice on the house parties, I eventually did like teen clubs back in DFW. Anybody like around my generation, they know Teen World and the Stadium was like the shit back then. Like those were like the biggest teen clubs. Like everybody would go to like every weekend, and house parties was like my internship for that.
Okay.
And then like when I transitioned to the Stadium and the teen clubs, and then just went up from there to like step shows to everything else.
Yeah. What would you say separates, you know, a great DJ from any other DJ then?
Man, song selection for sure. As simple as that sounds, like it's still challenging to me, and I've been DJing half my life. But it's some people out there, man, they just got great song selection. It's like, man, how did you think to put that song with that one? Of course, mixing, you know, those transitions are everything.
That'll really set you apart, man.
Right. You ever been in the club and you've been like, the hell is this?
They just slam it. Yeah, it's like they slam from one song to there's no transition whatsoever. There's no mixing. There's no blending going on.
Right.
But when someone gets that right song, it's like, man, you'll see the whole club turn up. Man.
Right, exactly. And then of course, like something everybody can't do though is just that scratching, man. It's just if you know how to scratch right, man, you're gonna stand out like a sore thumb.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, so you ended up going to college, right?
Yep.
So it was at Angelo State University?
Yes, sir.
So where is that at, man?
That is in San Angelo, Texas. So from like the Dallas-Fort Worth area, that's like 4 hours west.
Okay.
In the country.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I know it's kind of, man, it's crazy how I ended up there, but in the beginning I was thinking like, man, should I go to like a PV or a TSU, because these were like the, schools known for like music and DJing. But when I had West Texas as one of my choices, I was like, man, I've never heard of like a DJ making like noise in West Texas, like on this area, because there's some DJs out there doing their thing.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of wanted to like shift the paradigm. I wanted to do something different, so I went out there, and man, it's like my second home now.
Really? Okay. So good experience out there at school then, huh?
Yeah, hell yeah. I ended up. I didn't know it was gonna be like this, but now like I still like do gigs and events out there. Like I just came from out there last month doing the Ice Cube concert.
Yeah.
I actually got to open up for that, and man, that was crazy. I was thinking like during that time, like just reflecting, I was like, man, if I would have went back in time, told myself at 18 years old, like, stay at it right here, man. You're gonna end up doing this, and that, and opening up for this artist. I was like, you fucking lying. Shut up. But man, that just shows you, man. You never know what life's gonna throw at you.
Yeah. How many people were at that show at the Cube?
Man, I think they said it was over like 4,000 outside. And like for San Angelo, that's like huge, because I think the population out there is only like, I don't know, maybe like 100,000 or something. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. But, regular events, like we would have 650, 750 people. So I've never DJed an event in West Texas with 4,000 just on the campus.
Shit, yeah.
So that was pretty dope. He killed it too.
Oh, I'm sure, man. It was him and Too Short, right?
Yeah, him, Too Short. Who else was on there? Big J, Kane, Crystal Poppin', Paul Wall.
Oh shit!
Baby
so they kind of
Bash.
mixed in some Texas shit then too, huh?
Baby Bash and Frankie J. They killed it, man. And Slim was supposed to be there, but I forgot what happened. He wasn't able to make it.
All right. So what did you end up getting your degree in then?
Got it in communications, and I was actually managing a radio station up there, which that gave me like a chance to really see how like a station really works.
Yeah.
So I was programming. I had other students like, under me. I had an assistant. It was pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool experience.
Nah, that's what's up, man. And you ended up going to Vegas after college, right?
Yep. That was dope, man.
Yeah. So why Vegas over anywhere else?
Well, because you got Atlanta, you got New York, you got LA. I kind of wanted to do something different, and when I went to Vegas the first time, it just, I don't know, it like spoke to me, and I just felt like, man, I feel like I would thrive here. And like, being a DJ, Vegas is the party city, so you always have stuff going on Monday through Sunday, and I feel like it would be a good way to challenge my DJing set too, as well, like coming from the South, moving to the West Coast and challenging myself that way.
Nah, definitely, man. So did you have to change up your set list, like the songs that you were playing from, compared to back home in Texas then?
Hell yeah, because I mean, they like that Texas stuff too up there, but it's like the percentage is different. Like, in Texas or down south, you can play like 75-80% down south stuff, and then they're gonna be rocking. Well, up there on the West Coast, like it's gonna have to be switched. Like you can play some of that down south stuff, but be sure you get them some of the West Coast classics, whatever hot at the time, some of that Nip, all that, man. It's crazy. I had to go to the clubs, and I was studying a lot of those, like what the DJs were playing. I was looking at what the crowd reacted to. So I spent about a week or two just going to spots, buying drinks, just studying,
Yeah, no, that's important, especially when you're in a new city like that too, man. You got to figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Hell yeah, exactly. Or you going to get up there and your ass going to be trash.
Yeah, they won't be calling you back after that.
Nah, it's over with.
And you DJ'd the after party at Day in Vegas too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what was that experience like?
That was cool, man. Shout out to my guy Icon Presents, man. It was a lot of folks came through. I was really hype about it because, well, the timing of it was like right as I was moving. That was literally like my last day there before I came back to Texas. So it's like, dang, I got to go out with a bang. It made me reflect. Like, matter of fact, it was a full year. So I had went out there in November 2018, And then I had to leave November 2019, which was when Day in Vegas was.
Okay.
So, man, it was dope though, man. Seeing like, it was underground and it was like, you know, mid-tier artists, a couple top-tier artists. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but man, it was dope all the way around though, man, for sure.
Yeah.
I was cool with just opening up, man. People was just vibing with me like that and then just shaking hands and networking after my set.
Understood, man. And now you're an artist yourself, though, right?
Yeah.
So how'd you get into that? What made you say, all right, I want to make some music too, man?
Man, you know what's crazy? I was actually making music when I first started DJing, when I was like 16 or 17. Like I used to record myself. You know, my homie Ryan, he had a studio at his house, and I would secretly like record, you know, when everybody went to sleep, when nobody was doing sessions and stuff. And then one day I had got him to record for me, and he was like, "This all right, bro." So, you know, I had kind of stuck with it. Really, when I did it back then, I was only getting like 20 plays on MySpace or whatever.
Oh, the
and like,
MySpace days. Yeah.
And like my role really was just to, you know, being the DJ and then just mastering that craft because it was still early. So I had stopped rapping a little bit like right when I went to college because I wanted to really focus on like DJing and mastering that. But I felt like once I had got to where I wanted to be like DJing, I picked rapping back up because it's kind of like, you know, you still like when you love something and it never really goes away, you know, and especially with my friends, we would get drunk, freestyle. So it's like still there. Some of them be like, "Man, you don't be rapping, man." And shout out my wife, man. She one of the ones that, you know, whenever I let her hear a song, when I thought about getting back into it, she was like, "You should have been doing this shit. What you doing?" So, you know, I picked it back up, man. I just, it's like therapy to me.
Yeah.
And music is 24/7 for me, like all day, every day. So, man, yep, that's why I started rapping, making my own stuff. I'm a chill on the rapping, you know, a little bit. I got like a couple more records I want to do rap wise, but I'm gonna take that same approach with producing and really just still gonna put out my records, but you probably won't hear me rapping on them as much.
Yeah. So how long you been making beats then?
Around the same time, I was doing really I've been DJing the longest, and then my homie Ryan, he's the guy who made the Stanky Legs. So I was always annoying him, watching him make beats and stuff on FL. And then, you know, I started, when he would go to sleep or when he would take a break or whatever, that's when I kind of learned. So I was like 16 to 17 around that time too. And that's just something like, I feel like DJing and producing.
Yeah, they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, they go hand in hand. So it's something that I've always done, even whenever I wasn't like rapping at the time, I was always still making beats here and there and stuff, you know. And then when I start getting them to like some of the big Texas artists and seeing some of them get placed here and there, it kind of gives you that motivation, like, keep going, man. You never know who you might get placed with next.
Yeah, absolutely. And how much would you say your DJ background helped you as an artist and as a producer, because you know what's going to work?
Man, it helps a lot. Like, I don't even think I would be doing it. If it's weird to say it like that, but I don't think I would do it if I was a DJ, just because it's like, I go in there and I know what I'm trying to make. And it's like, I have an idea of what moves the crowd from a DJ perspective. So when I go in there and I'm trying to make a song, I'm like, and I say something and I hear it, I'm like, yeah, maybe that ain't it, you know what I mean? Or when I'm making a beat, I'm like, ooh, that bass is hitting hard. That's gonna make the drunk people feel it, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. All right, so talk to us about this brand you got, man. Crack for the Ears.
Crack for the Ears, man. It really used to be called D-Boy Mixtapes, right? Am I a D-Boy? No. Have I ever been a D-Boy? Hell no. But I just always had a liking towards, you know, that lifestyle has always been like entertaining to watch, not to be in. But so that eventually, you know, went to Crack for the Ears, and I did that like by doing the tapes, like mixtapes and stuff. And I called it that is because I feel like music is addicting in a sense, you know, especially if it's good music. So I wanted my mixtapes to be addicting like that. So I got that little tag to say Crack for the Ears, yes. And some people would, you know, and it got to a point to where they would see me and they would say that, and they would put a little smirk on my face because it started off kind of like a joke, but then it kind of you know, turned into something serious. So, you know, started off with the tapes, and now it's like, you know, a brand. Eventually, my full vision is I want to like help get other artists and stuff to the next level. I'm kind of doing it with myself right now, and then I want to take the same blueprint and do it with somebody else.
Understood, man. Do you think mixtapes can make a comeback, or is it now just playlists, man?
Man, I just talked to my homie about that yesterday, and a part of me wants to say yes, but it is a playlist era though, man. Like, you know, all the other platforms, like the My Mixtapes, Live Mixtapes, and that Piff, is like, do you think people are gonna go to those sites, or would they rather go to a playlist where they're already listening to music on Apple and Spotify? So,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's kind of tricky. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I've been working on a mixtape right now just because, like, you know, sometimes I feel like I want to go back to the roots of how things started.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to see what happens. But I think in order for it to make a comeback, it has to be something special. You can't just throw it out there and expect it to do. You got to have, like, I mean, treat it like an album almost, like extra promotion, super exclusive records, having people behind it. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, that mixtape era was so fun though, man. So many artists got broken through DJs.
For real.
Yeah.
I remember people used to be like bigging me up, like, I appreciate you for putting me on your mixtape, man. Now I know they won't give a fuck. Like,
Like, do I get paid for this now? That's all they care about.
for
man.
real. Shout out my guy B King, man. B King always was a guy that told me like he messed with my mixtapes, and just to see his success and stuff now, man, is dope. And just that how he like fucked with the Crack for the Ears brand back in the day, man, has always like been dope to me. So
Yeah.
it always been like a thing. Like, you know, some certain people tell you stuff and it makes you keep going. Like, man, I used to bump your tapes, man, such and such. It's like, so.
Well, definitely motivates you, man, for
Yeah.
sure. And what was your South by Southwest experience like?
It was dope, man. I didn't do too much, man. I had one show, Welcome to the South, out there.
Okay.
Had Sauce Walker on there, Duke Deuce, OTB Fast Lane, Propane came out. But man, that show, it was cool though. For a Wednesday, it was pretty turned.
Yeah.
And then like the other day, like I had to go out of town on Friday for a gig in another city, but the other day I was able to just kind of kick it with my homie and his little brother. His little brother came into town, so we just kind of went downtown and kind of like, you know, showed him the ropes a little bit and stuff.
Yeah.
It was dope though, man. Little low-key cool South by Southwest.
Yeah, I didn't go this year, but it kind of looked like the South by of old too. Like it seemed like there was a lot more people out there. I know they didn't have South by, I think, the last 2 years because of the pandemic.
That's why, and you know, that was really good for it, because I feel like at a point in time it was getting played out, because when I first went in like 2012, I think, it was like a different vibe.
Oh, yeah.
And like every year, I felt like it was getting like oversaturated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know, 2012, you was people out, majority, like 75% of the people was out there to work, to network. And then after that, it kind of became like people were just there because it was a spot to go.
Real shit, yeah. So you got this new project out, man. All about money.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so first let's talk about the creative process. And was it easy getting these features back, man?
Yeah, hell yeah, it was, man. Most of them I was able to, man, like 80% of the people I work with, I got like personal relationships
Okay.
with. So like they be getting stuff right back, you know. Creative process was cool. Most of it is me starting off with an idea, and then you know, of course, reaching out to certain artists that I want. You know what I mean? Shout out everybody on the project. Get Money, Lil Ronnie, Chose, you know, my guy Chevis, David Impey, everybody on there, man. And you know, one thing I can say about this project is that I wanted it to be like a time capsule of where I'm at in my life right now. Because I feel like, you know, sometimes you feel like you might not be where you want to be because, you know, you're not selfish enough. I mean, I know it kind of sucks to say, but sometimes you got to be selfish to get to where you want to be, and then you can help everybody else. And I felt like, you know, it was my time to be a little selfish. You know, bring my vision to life, and then share everything I learned and help everybody else along the way. You know, I ain't gonna be selfish forever, man. Just one time.
Now, did you do most of the production on this, or did you have other producers you worked
Oh
with?
yeah, most of it. I think I did out the 9 tracks. I think I did 6 or 7.
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So it was pretty much all coming from you then, huh?
Yeah, that'd be the good part too.
Yeah.
Cause those beats be expensive.
Nah, for real.
Shoot, I'm trying to get that expensive bags. People need some beats. Come holler at me.
Yeah.
Spend some money with me.
So let's talk about this single Tic Toc, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what was it like putting together this record, man?
Man, it was crazy because I was making a beat and I was like, I'm just gonna make a simple beat that I think is dumb. And I literally had that in my head and I was like, okay, this is cool. I could picture this in the club. So I sent it to my guy BG, which he was a part of like a big R&B group called BMC Boys in the DFW. But he also was like a hook maestro. Like he's known for that. So I seen he was resurging doing this music. I was like, hey dog, put me a hook on here just to see what you do. I didn't have no subject or nothing. I was just like, here's a beat, do your thing. And he sent it back, and then I heard that tick tock, tick tock. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's gonna be catchy.
Yeah.
So then it made me think like Lil Ronnie Mother F, because him and Lil Ronnie Mother F have a song called Big Old Booty, which is like a viral song in DFW, like, and it's like very old, but it still gets played. So I was like, let's try to get that combination together and make something new. So here Ronnie told him come to the studio. No, he was messing with it, and he went in there and did his verse in like 10 minutes, man.
Oh shit.
Ronnie the
He's
truth.
dope, man.
Ronnie the truth, man. He gonna get that shit done.
Absolutely, man.
Yes, sir. So after he did that, and we played it back in the studio like 2 or 3 times, it's like, yeah, I could do something with this.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like it's doing pretty well. As you see people even making TikToks for the song too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just gotta keep on building, and I keep telling myself it's consistency. Even if it doesn't take off right away like you want it to, like you just gotta keep on pushing, put in that work, and it's gonna come. So I don't have patience, so that's the hardest part, man. I'll be ready for stuff to go now, but you just gotta put in that work.
Yeah. All right. So what about the other single, Ain't Wanna Do It?
Right. Shout out to Chose, Get Money, Lil Ronnie. Man, it's crazy because how that came about is me and Chose, we produce a lot of tracks together and stuff. So like, we produced a beat or whatever. After we produce something, he'll send an email and have what we did, and that was one of the tracks in there. And I heard it, but I was like, damn, this is hard. And then later on, I was just like, man, I don't know who he gonna send that to, but shit, I kind of want that. And then later on, I seen it was available, so I just kind of hit him up. I was like, hey, bro, like, actually, I hit his manager up, and then, you know, we all linked in. I was like, man, if that track is available, man, I want it.
Yeah.
You know, and then, so, you know, we worked something out. Shout out Chose, man. He always show love on, you know, doing business and sharing gems and giving opportunities and stuff. It's just like a all around camp and stuff with him and stuff, man. And once I got that from him, though, I was like, you know, I wanted to get somebody from Fort Worth, which, you know, I've been knowing Get Money Lil Ronnie for a long time. So I feel like he a dope artist. He does his thing and is respected, but I still feel like he's still kind of slept on. But I knew he would get on there and do his thing, so I reached out to him. Actually, I reached out to his management at the time, and then we linked that up and got him on the track, man, and it was up from there.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite one on the project, man.
Yeah.
That shit hard, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, man, it did that thing, man. Shout out Chose on the beat, man.
Can't go wrong with Chose on the beat, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so what's been some of the biggest challenges you had to face in your career so far?
Man, being prepared, preparation, you can just say. Consistency, I would say, going back to the patience thing, of course. One reason I say preparation is because I share a story with you to kind of like put it in perspective. Usually when I would DJ events, right, if it was like an artist or something, I would just be mentally prepared. Okay, I'm just gonna open up the show. They're gonna have that DJ come. They're gonna DJ their set. It's gonna be all over with. So I had to get myself in a mind frame of, man, you don't know what's gonna happen. What if they don't show up? Then what you gonna do? You prepared to just open, and then you gonna have a shitty set. What made me think about that one time is that Genuine came to town, and I did sound check. And my guy said was just like, hey man, you gonna have to DJ Genuine set. His DJ missed his flight. I was like, who set? Genuine? This is an R&B legend. So I had to like mentally prepare myself for that, and it went well. But like that moment just made me think like, man, you never know what's gonna happen. Like even if you on the show with 2 or 3 DJs, you never know if one of them gonna miss out. So just be prepared to do the whole show. It's better to be over prepared than under prepared.
Real shit right there, man.
Yeah.
What's some advice you would share to some upcoming or inspiring DJs right now?
Man, simple. Keep going. You're gonna have those moments to where you're gonna feel like shit ain't moving. It ain't going the way you want it to go. But I guarantee if you keep putting that work in, you're gonna look up one day and be like, damn, how did I get here? So just simple. Just keep on going and try to block out all the extra noise, because if you listen to too many people trying to tell you which way to go, you're gonna be confused.
Yeah, that's solid advice right there. So what's next, D-Money? What's on tap for the rest of 2022 and beyond, man?
2022, man. I got a couple things I want to do. A couple new records I'm working on, but like I say, I'm finna take like my experience in college as far as like writing a thesis over hip hop influence and all that. I'm actually writing a book, and it's titled Hip Hop Raised Me.
Okay.
So I'm hoping I could be finished with that around the holidays. If not, then top of the year sometime. I'm just gonna take what I did with hip hop influence, kind of put a little personal twist on it into a book and just market it myself. Thought about going to get a PhD, because you kind of like do the same thing there, but then I was like, I save some more money and actually get a chance to market it and make some more money myself. So yeah, that's my next focus, man. And trying to produce albums for artists that I know too, like how I got little mixed compilations and feel like I want to lock in with certain people, do whole projects with them,
That'd be major right there, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, you got any shout outs you like to give before we wrap it up here, man?
Man, shout out to the support system. Shout out my whole family, man. My wife, my son, home team, SMC, everybody rocking with the Crack for the Ears movement, man. Shit, we at DGB, man. Shout out my boy Dirty Glove Bubba, man.
Shout out to Bubba, man.
Shout out Bubba, man. Just like it should say, man, if you trying to get linked in, locked in Texas and make the right connects, well, you better find Bubba. You better find his ass. Like his thing say, gotta find Bubba.
Gotta find Bubba, man.
You gotta find him, you know what I'm saying? So, and shout out to everybody doing their thing, man. And shout out to y'all for having me.
No problem, bro.
Throw it on flow, make it tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Throw it on flow, make it tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.